Hello, everybody. I believe that I am live. How exciting. This is great. I'm just going to wait to see if anybody hops on the channel and we will get going. It's a beautiful day here in Southwest Kerry. And I've been looking forward to talking to you about essential oils for a very long time. This kind of marks the beginning of a new era for my aromatherapy business. I used to be called Elizabeth Scattergood Aromatherapy, but now it's U2 Aromatherapy because we've got a lot of businesses that all match the same title. So it's wonderful. So welcome to the first, hopefully, of many monthly shows where I will be live streaming to you at some point at the beginning of the month of the essential oil of the month. So this month obviously is going to be geranium, which is Pelagonium Graviolence. But we'll talk about that in just a little while. My name is Liz Scattergood, and I'm a clinical holistic therapist, and I'm trained at the world-renowned Penny Price Academy in the UK, where I gained certificates in clinical aromatherapy, Indian head massage, pregnancy massage, and baby massage, and much more besides, Thai foot massage, all that sort of thing. And I was very busy back in the first part of this century. Now I've been in Ireland now for about 8 years, and I've set up a very well-respected clinic. And following the coronavirus outbreak, we've been busy creating our YouTube channels. I've created a channel called U2 Yoga, but now I'm ready to sort of rejuvenate the aromatherapy channel, which has been here for a while. But I haven't made any videos or done anything about anything for some time. So I thought it was about time I did something, as it is my first love and my favorite career. So I'm really glad that you joined me today. Thank you for that. And if you like anything that we're talking about today, then do give me a thumbs up, a like in the button below, and just give me a wave in the chat as well, because it would be lovely to hear from you. If you have any questions, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching later on, then you can chat in the live chat or down there, depending on which device you're using. And I've also got comment section, and I will respond to any questions that you want to know. So just ask. That's why I'm here. Okay. So this month's highlighted oil is geranium. And it is a member of the Geraniaceae family, which has about 450 varieties altogether. But today we're just focusing on one, which is the main essential oil that we use as aromatherapists. And its Latin name is Pelagonium Graviolens. And it is a plant from very highly scented, beautiful little fuzzy leaves. I love rubbing those little leaves and having a smell like you would with mint or any other herb. It has the same effect. You rub the little fuzzy leaves and you get the aroma that you would get from the essential oil. Normally, Pelargonium Graviolens has either pink or purple coloured flowers. So it's a very pretty little plant, and I've found a lot in the Mediterranean mostly, and in North Africa as well. And that's where most of geranium's essential oil actually comes from. So the oil itself, I have some here, has a sort of a greeny tinge to it. Let me put it up against my white shirt. There's a sort of a yellowy greeny tinge to it. It's absolutely beautiful colour. And when you put it into a cream, for example, it will actually dye the colour of the cream as well, which is amazing. It has a kind of an earthy, sweet aroma, which can be a little bit challenging for some, because I've heard it described as quite cloying. It can give people a headache sometimes. However, for those of you who love it like I do, then it's going to become a staple in your essential oil box. So it's actually, like I said, distilled from those lovely fuzzy leaves, but it's got some traditional uses from very, very long ago. And it used to be used to treat hemorrhoids, of all things, blood loss and ulcers of the skin. And in particular, the ancient Egyptians used it for treating cancerous ulcers, which is absolutely fascinating. I love finding out about the history of essential oils and what they were used for back in the day. So this amazing and versatile oil, I mean, it's so widely used. It's brilliant, and it is in a lot of cosmetics too. If you look at the back of your cosmetics, especially if they tend to be organic or more natural, you will find Pelagonium Graviolence essential oil in there quite frequently, let me tell you. And the reason that is because it is an antibacterial oil, also antiviral, which of course right now is really, really important. We're just coming out of the winter season here, and there's still a lot of colds and coughs around, and even some flu. So making sure that you use a bit of geranium in your day-to-day life would really benefit you and boost your immune system. So the antiviral in particular it works with is the herpes simplex virus, but also the chickenpox virus, which means it works for shingles as well. And other childhood diseases like measles, mumps, and rubella, and the common cold all can benefit from the geranium essential oil. It's also what we call an anti-spasmodic, which means spasm, anti-spasming, which means any kind of smooth muscle or ligaments in the body that are actually spasming, it will actually help to reduce that. And that can be described mostly for conditions of the lower bowel, but also for menstrual cramping as well. It's an incredible decongestant. It does actually help to reduce some of the phlegm in the lungs and in the respiratory tract, so that we actually get over colds and coughs a lot quicker. It's a wonderful relaxing oil as well, because it has a lot of esters in, or it depends where you buy your oil from, obviously, but the majority of the oils in there sorry, I'm getting all confused and blah, blah, blah. It does have esters in, that's what I wanted to say, which is relaxing, which is wonderful. It's also great for breast congestion in nursing mothers. So if you just had a baby and you are nursing your baby, then you might find that you maybe get a bit of breast congestion or some mastitis, and geranium diluted and rubbed onto the breast after the feed, not before the feed. Make sure you wash your breast as well before you nurse your baby again afterwards. Geranium is also amazing for fluid retention and also for cellulite. Yes, indeed. Get some and rub a lovely blend of cellulite for your cellulite. Absolutely great. It's also incredible for hormone balancing. Now, this is one thing that really does shine a beacon out of all of my essential oils in my little box in my room. It is the one go-to oil that I use for hormone balancing, and it's particularly of a certain age, like myself, who have menopausal issues, but also for menstrual issues as well. Say, for example, you're having your periods are all over the place, can't rely on the date exactly. If you use geranium in products that you use on your body or just to inhale in your living room or your house, then you will find that your hormones will become nicely balanced once again. Not just your sex hormones either. It's also really good for thyroid. And this is obviously a valuable oil. It's also good for things like eczema and dry skin, which of course is very prevalent these days. And especially here, it gets quite windy and we do get a lot of dry skin issues. So I do love to put some geranium in my creams and whatnot, just so that I don't get too dry a skin. And especially after you've had a lovely shower or a bath, it's wonderful. So because this oil is very regenerative, it's excellent for moisturizing, which is why it works really, really well in a cream or a lotion. We'll be talking about that a little bit later on. So the oils that geranium blend well with, because sometimes when you're making up a blend, you'll just kind of throw about 3 or 4 different types of oils in, and it doesn't smell quite right. So here are some oils that it blends beautifully with. Geranium works well with lemon, with thyme, and with bergamot, lavender, and marjoram as well. So some of the herbs, but a lot of the citrus ones as well. I have actually found that one of my favorites when I was suffering with really nasty sort of PMS was to have geranium mixed with grapefruit. And that was absolutely fabulous smelling. And I just popped some in my creams and in my shampoo. Actually, I was making my own shampoo at the time. And I also used it in my oil burners all the time, which is marvelous. And of course, if nothing else, it smells utterly fabulous and is antibacterial, antiviral, what's not to love? So there are actually no known contraindications, which is what we actually talk to people about when they come for a consultation. Geranium has no known contraindications. There are a few people who don't like the smell of it very much, and so that can put them off. And there's very few people, very rarely get a little skin rash or something from it. So it's absolutely incredible. But if you do have any concerns about using geranium or Pelagonium Graviolens, then please consult a clinical aromatherapist. And the way to do that is to contact your local place where they teach and train clinical aromatherapists. And in the UK, that is Penny Price Academy. They're based in Hinckley in Leicestershire. There'll be a link down below in the description after I've finished, and you can find them very easily. If, like me, you're in Southern Ireland, then you can check out Obus, and they're at obus.ie, and they also are an absolutely fantastic organisation that teaches clinical aromatherapy. Now, earlier on, we mentioned about the chemical constituents in geranium oil, and let me just guide you through a few of them and what it actually means. So the chemical constituents of geranium are, it's 65% plus of alcohols. Now, alcohols are the pain relievers. This is the stuff that's going to stop the spasms and actually help to reduce pain in any kind of condition that you have. Absolutely fabulous. Esters, there's 15% of esters in geranium, which is a really important part because this is the part that's really good for skin conditions and is the calming part as well. 10% of geranium is aldehydes, and these are good for calming the nervous system. They reduce temperature, which is why it's brilliant for people who have a common cold or the flu. And it also lowers blood pressure, and it's antifungal, viral, and antiseptic. Wow, absolutely amazing. I love geranium so much. In fact, I'm going to have a sniff right now. When you're cleaning with geranium, oh my goodness, it's just so delicious. When you're cleaning with geranium, it's absolutely amazing for cleaning. So you can use with lemon and it will absolutely smell gorgeous, especially if you use it in the bathroom and the kitchen. Really lovely smell, that sort of lovely citrusy smell topped off with the lovely geranium. And they work so beautifully together. And it will actually provide antiviral, bacterial and fungal, all antiviral, antibacterial and antifungal for your bathroom and kitchen needs, which is absolutely perfect. So what you need to do is just add 3 to 5 drops of geranium and lemon, so 3 to 5 drops of each of those oils into 100 milliliters of water. This is a 100 milliliter little bottle. It is best if you're blending essential oils to actually use dark colored bottle, so a blue one. You can also get lovely green ones as well, but also dark brown ones are the normal favored ones for aromatherapy, but I just particularly like the blue ones. It's just a bit different. So you add 3 to 5 drops each of geranium and lemon into 100 milliliters of water, and every time, if you put a little sprayer on the top, every time you want to use, just give it a good shake up, because oil and water don't mix, so we need to just shake everything up and then spray using a little sprayer, or you can dab it onto a cloth and then wipe it is. I also use geranium and lemon for cleaning my fridge, which makes the smells absolutely beautiful. It doesn't last for very long, and don't worry, it doesn't take the taste of your foods either. And if you want to use geranium as a cleaner neat on the surfaces, which is obviously a really good idea right now as we're very concerned with antiviral, you can put 2 or 3 drops of oil directly onto a cloth and then wipe down your surfaces, making sure to let it dry before you touch it again, because we should never put neat essential oils on the skin. It dries very quickly anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of an inconvenience. Now let's talk about diffusing and burning the oil so that it fills the entire room with this beautiful smell. It's a great oil to use on its own or with lavender for relaxation, or lemon if you want uplifting and an antidepressant. Another beautiful oil to use with geranium if you have a bit of depression or stress in the family is Eucalyptus stageriana. That's right. I said Stageriana. It smells like lemon sherbet, I think is probably the best way to describe it. Absolutely gorgeous, and is beautiful for going into your burners. Now, if you've never seen an oil burner before, I'm sure you all have, but just in case, this is mine. It was made for me by my lovely friend Anya, who is a beautiful ceramicist, and I've used it so often. Look, it's even got a little chimney smoke going on there. So this is where we put the candle goes in here, and then you light the candle, and then here is the well. And this just sits on top. Now, not all oil burners will have a separate well, but I love this one in particular because it means I can take this off and wash it separately if necessary. So this you fill about 2 centimeters from the top with water, and then you can add 6 drops all together, no more than 6 drops, into this deep well burner, and it will just burn for quite some time. Having a nice deep well like this means that you can just leave it alone, and you don't have to keep going back to make sure that the water hasn't all burnt off, because that does happen if you've only got a little shallow well. So just beware about that. So when it comes to using geranium, my personal story is that geranium has become one of my favorite oils and is my go-to when I'm having issues hormonally. Years ago, I had issues with regulating my periods, and it would seem that no doctor could work out what on earth was going on. I was under the doctor for about 3 years, and they just couldn't figure it out. And I kept on missing months at a time, or having a period that was only 2 or 3 weeks apart. So it was very inconvenient, and I was bleeding quite heavily, and it was very, very unpleasant indeed. So I decided, once I started studying aromatherapy, and we covered geranium in the first module, which was a 5-day course. And as soon as I saw geranium, I went, that's the boy for me. So now every time I got out of the shower, I'd use a lovely blend or a cream of geranium with lavender in. And with only a few months of this, doing this all the time, using it in creams and in oils, I actually managed to make my periods regular. And my periods became way more predictable. I wasn't having as much blood loss. And after a full year, I was completely regular and consistent again, which is absolutely amazing. What an amazing oil this is. So now, if you want to make up your own blends of lavender oil, it's really quite simple. You just need, once again, this beautiful little 100 ml bottle. This one's actually plastic, but you can use glass ones. I found that glass ones are actually better, because if you have got the oils in there for any length of time, sometimes they can degrade the plastic as well. So I always reuse my my bottles. I put them in the dishwasher and just wash them out, and it works beautifully. So for blending, a lovely massage oil for you that you can use all over your body. 100 mils of carrier oil. Now, a carrier oil is going to be something like sweet almond oil, or my favorite, which is grapeseed, or you can use olive oil, not the cooking. Make sure that you get proper massage oil. And also you can use sweet almond oil, which I've mentioned, but I do want to mention again about sweet almond, is that if you have a nut allergy, you need to be careful. So grapeseed is my favorite because it's quite light, goes into the body really quickly, and doesn't stain my clothes. So in a bottle this size, you can add up to 10 drops of geranium oil, and then you can add 10 drops of lavender or 10 drops of lemon. And then you can use just a little bit like this. You rub it on your hands, and you can rub it anywhere you like on your body. Watch out for your bits, though. Just be very careful with your bits. And then if you wanted to add it to a 30 ml oil-based cream, you can have a little 30 ml jar and then fill it up with your lovely oil-based cream. Add 5 drops of geranium and 5 drops of any other oil that you wanted to use. But please, if you're going to use that on your face, only use lavender or chamomile on your face. Only 5 drops of each of those oils. It's always best to use 3 or less oils whenever you're burning or blending. I prefer just to use 2 most of the time, because especially if you're using something like lavender, which we will be talking about in a month or two's time on this live show, lavender is so versatile in the same way that geranium is. You can cover so many ailments and issues and of emotional and physical type. So it really is quite amazing what you can do just with 2 oils. So that's it for me for this little live stream. Thank you for joining me. And if you're watching later, please do know that you can comment in the comments below and I will answer any questions that you want to know about aromatherapy. And if you have any suggestions of which oils you would like to hear about next month, in the month of May, my goodness, we're already in May, coming up to May that next time. It's incredible how quickly this year is going. So thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I do hope that you'll join me next time. Namaste.